Hello and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we will be discussing the fifth book in the House of Night series, Hunted.
I'll kick us off with the blurb.
Of course, and just before we forget, by PC Cast and Kristin Cast. Getting into a little habit of forgetting the author.
He took my palm in his and turned it over so that the sapphire-coloured tattoos that covered them were visible. Then, much as I had just done, he lightly traced his finger across my skin. I shivered, but I didn't pull away. After the terrible arrival of the Dark Angel Kalona at the House of Night, Zoey, Redbird and her friends have fled to the tunnels under the town, where they hide out with the strange new red vampire fledglings. Everything changes when Zoey is badly injured and finds herself back at the House of Night face to face with Stark, whom she hasn't forgotten since he died in her arms. But now Stark is working for the evil Neferet. Can Zoey trust him? Who is really on her side as the battle begins? And what price will she have to pay for following her heart?
God damn. Alrighty, to kick us off, Kenzie, again. Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
The more and more we get into this series, the more and more I really want to DNF it.
Oh no.
But I am persevering. I don't know, it's like this book and the last book have felt like filler books, and there's so much that doesn't happen in this book that it's kind of unnecessary, and it's another one of those bigger books, like there's a few more pages in it than the other ones, and I just don't understand. And I was going through the book releases yesterday, and I think they released like 2 books a year, and if I got this book, if I got like 4 and 5 in a year, I'd be pissed, because that was a shit year for this book.
Oof, fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be like, it's all about Zoey, because that's the point, but it is, and there still isn't that much character development going on, because we thought we were getting somewhere when she suddenly found herself with no boyfriends.
Yeah.
And now again she's found herself with multiple boyfriends once again. So
Yeah, straight away she was boyfriendless for like 2 seconds.
yeah.
But yeah, my thoughts, feelings, emotions, it felt like kind of a bit of a slog. There's a distinct 2 halves of the book. The first half is, and I know we'll probably talk about this later, is just the fart-assing around. I mean, not really fart-assing around, but we're establishing, the tunnel life of Stevie Ray and the Red Fledglings, which is fine, and it's something that's very intriguing. But then it's just all like, the touring around, and I know saving Stevie Ray is a very pivotal part of the first half of the book, but then nothing else really kind of came of it. It became repetitive, because Zoey gets injured as well, and then it's just more time trying to heal her, and then obviously the second half is just like back and forth getting to the House of Night and then having to escape it again. I don't know, it just feels a lot of unnecessary
and then
energy.
again, it's more, now that we're with the Red Fledglings and we're in the tunnels, it's more of that, here are all these new characters that we're not going to flesh out,
except only like 1 or maybe even 2, but yeah. And just a lot is semi-resolved in the last probably 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was going to be stretched out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I kind of found, I know we're probably going to talk about it a little bit more, but did you figure out who represents the night, spirit, humanity, earth thing from the poem?
Not really, just because I didn't care.
Fair.
Yeah, so I wasn't putting that much deeper. I was like, oh, okay, I can see where this is going. But, I'm kind of, at this point, I understand the importance of it, but I'm a bit over these prophetic poems.
Poems and riddles and...
why does it have to be that?
Yeah.
And then because it's always here's this ridiculous riddle / poem, and then suddenly Nyx appears and it's like, oh, it means this. And it's like...
what's the point?
I'm kind of, over this rinse and repeat of... We don't know. Oh, here's Nyx to tell us what it means. Why can't Nyx tell them from the start? Yeah.
I just thought it was going to be more of a searching to find who these individuals, the representative of those elements, earth, blood, humanity, blah, blah, blah. But no, it was just like, oh, it's this XYZ. It's just these people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And then just the whole, I know we'll probably talk about the ending when we talk a bit more about the plot, but then just Kalona just fucking off. It's like, well, I thought it was going to be stretched out for a little bit more, but well. Yeah, a bit of a slog.
It was one of those things as well, it's a book where there's danger ensuing, danger and war is coming. And then, so I was like, the first book is oh, fun, vampires, yay, something's coming. And then from there it's something is coming. Something is coming.
Yeah.
Something is here. Something is
It's
here,
gone.
but gone. But something might be coming.
But he's lingering.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
then,
understand.
without spoiling things for you, like, beyond this point, it still is. Okay, this part is done, but something is coming. Like,
Right. Oh, don't tell me. There's someone
yeah.
worse than
And it's
Kalona,
like,
is there?
how
Oh.
many, how many times do we need to have these more warnings of something is coming without, like,
Without being an actual
resolving it?
catalyst.
Yeah, and without actually having a war or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this day and age, blue balls as a social construct doesn't exist, but like you're getting blue balled here.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, bit of a doozy. Yeah, it's a real half and half book because they're in the tunnels and then they're in the House of Night. And then I thought it was going to be a bit more suspenseful because, you know, Zoey is in the clutches of Kalona and Neferet and we know how dangerous they are. But, well, maybe now that I think about it, there's a little bit more, just a smidge of development between the other characters about how, you know, they're not alluring to Kalona and they're not, like, attracted to his hypnotic state of who he is.
Because
But maybe,
they've been enlightened.
yes,
Yeah, or because they have the affinities.
yeah, the affinities is what's protecting them.
Is Jack dead?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Sorry.
Yet? Question mark? I don't know.
Sorry, spoiler.
Is it coming?
Yeah.
Ooh. Honestly, like, I don't really care about these
what
characters.
book are you up to? 6?
I'm up to 6, yeah, I
I
haven't
think
read
he
it yet.
dies in 6.
Oh, yay, that's
Yeah,
spoiler
sorry.
alert for the rest of you. No,
It's
okay.
very, and the scene is funny.
A funny death.
Yeah,
But is this not the bury your gays trope?
it is.
Back in
100%.
2009, 2010. But yeah, I suppose we should just, that's our thoughts, feelings. Perhaps we can just, like, kick off into
Yeah,
the
shall we
plot a
get
little
into
bit.
the plot?
For sure.
So, Stevie Ray has once again found
The poor
herself
girl.
on the cusp of death.
What a lass. And Aphrodite has visions of bloody Zoey dying. It should be of Stevie,
should be
Ray,
of Stevie
dying,
Ray dying,
considering the situation they're
Yeah,
in.
so she's rushed into the tunnels with Zoey and gang, and Darius heal her.
I must say though, Darius is becoming my favourite character.
Yeah,
He's just a good boy.
he's pretty cool.
He is so cool.
He sticks around for a while as well. Which is
Oh,
good.
thank God. Yeah.
He's a good character.
I need that reassurance.
Yeah, but again, it's like, I really like new characters in books, etc., and introducing them, and then they become important. However, once again, you are 5 books in, and you're like, I think he came in 4 or 3.
I think Chosen, or even in second. I'm not quite sure. I'm forgetting these days. Like,
But anyway, yeah, I think 3. I think and then it's taken them this long to like be like, well, here's some stuff about him, like.
but at least he's sticking around.
Yes, but if you're going to write, 8 characters in the first book, stop introducing more. Like,
Yeah, fair.
To be important, or like introduce 1 or 2 in the second one, and be like, these are important people. Yeah,
I suppose with Darius, he is coming from a different like perspective. You know, a son of Erebus, like a warrior. Whereas the introduction of say Jack in the second book or third book, I don't remember now. Like it's kind of like he's just become Damien's boyfriend.
yeah,
and that's
he
all
gets
he
killed
really
off
is.
anyway. So
Yeah, and that's all he really is. And like, yeah, so definitely other
and
characters.
he's so offensively stereotypically gay.
Yeah, I know. I cringe at every dialogue he says. Every time he like cries.
Yeah.
I feel like he's not. I'm sure he can be very emotional, but like he shouldn't be crying at every little squeamish things.
Yeah. Also, you're a vampire. Like.
Yeah, this isn't the lifestyle for you, bud.
Yeah. So anyway, Stevie Ray is miraculously healed because apparently you can't kill her.
She is unkillable.
Yeah.
Nah, it was a whole. I liked the team effort though of everyone. Trying to heal her, but it did take up like a good 25% of the first chunk of the book, which was annoying. But yeah,
And like once again, was it not just let's cast a circle?
Yeah. I think it was part of it, and then Aphrodite again had to give her human blood because the humanity, and just the acceleration of human blood regenerates her healing a bit quicker or something like that, makes her stronger. And then there's an oopsie daisy after that process, which is hilarious.
Which is the imprint of Stevie Ray and Aphrodite.
Yeah, and as far as we're aware, imprints are inherently like more of a romantic, sexual type of thing. But is this kind of like internalized homophobia in a way? Bear with me for a second. Because only in this moment we get, 2 females imprinted on each other. But then we learn, but there are different types of imprints, so it's not romantic.
Yeah. I like how, because in popular culture as we know it, I feel like imprinting or bonding, I was going to say bondage, or bonding or mates or whatever seems to be this like really rare thing and it's really special. But then the House of Night is like, you get a mate, and you get an imprint, you get an imprint.
And you get a consort with that. Like,
yeah, like, so I like the idea of it. I think it was fun, it was fresh, it was keeping things a bit cool with the imprint of Aphrodite and Seabury. I was like, wow, this is really cool, this is going somewhere interesting in that, yeah, it's a platonic imprint. But then I was just like, oh, okay, well then what makes, like, Zoe's imprints really special to Heath and stuff, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, like, it worked with Heath because, like, he's her first love, he's her teenage love.
It was more
like,
of a sexual
it was, like,
vibe.
sexual, it was special. And, like, and then the imprint with Lauren because he took her virginity and, like...
Was that more of, like, an emotional thing? Yeah.
Whereas this is just like, oh, you sucked my blood. Yay! So,
you
like...
did it to save my life.
Yeah, so, like, at that point, like, okay, does that mean that every time I suck someone's blood, I'm going to imprint with them? Like...
Yeah, I thought that there was more of a risk. But they did... Oh, because Aphrodite is partly human and there's always, like, a higher risk for humans as opposed to proper vampires. So I suppose we just answered our own question.
I don't know.
That's fine. But yeah,
It's good, it doesn't answer because she is kind of human. Sorry, I'm eating. Yeah, with a human, their inherently imprint is a sexual thing or like a romantic thing.
Oh yeah. So we're slowly unraveling our thoughts. But yeah, I didn't appreciate all the like the joke. Like Aphrodite took it really seriously that she's not gay.
Yeah.
And, like it was very kind of internalized homophobia.
Yeah.
But I suppose again it was written in the times, you know, we
cannot excuse
I know we're not
behavior.
excusing it. I know we're not excusing it, but like we can't go back into the past and rewrite the book, all right?
Well, we should.
All right, but
If we want to roll with the LGBT.
with the alphabet mafia. Hey, the alphabet mafia is welcome here. Except do not read this series.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's just running comments about it the entire time. It's like, I think there was a moment where they all wanted to kind of bunk together and stay safe or whatever, and everyone's like sneering at Aphrodite and Stingray, and Aphrodite's like, no, I'm not going to share a bed with her. It's not that type of imprint.
Yeah,
like, we
because
get
they
it.
can
We
like
get it.
center on her.
But like Darius was chill about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if was it just because like the girl on girl action type of thing.
No, because I think he
genuinely respectful.
Genuinely respected the situation, and he wasn't like, oh, like obviously it wasn't a sexual thing. He's just like, you saved her life, like.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting he's an adult vampire.
He's an adult vampire, yeah.
And he has that maturity. He wasn't old, but like, but no, he has that respect, and that's why he's my favorite character so far. So I suppose while we're talking about I'm also eating. Sorry if you hear any chewing. It's a vibe.
We're hungry.
Stevie Ray obviously, you know, heals and becomes better and everything, and we get introduced to the red fledglings. Only one seemingly is a bit more important these days.
Krishima.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it first. So we have Cremesha, Montoya, Dallas, Anthony, Johnny B, Girardi, Elliot, and because we love Elliot, he has done nothing since.
Yeah.
Shannon Compton. I think the joke is you're supposed to say it really fast because Compton is her last name.
Yeah. It's like always used to call.
Elizabeth, no last name.
No, in real life, I feel like it was always. I need a pen so I don't say their full name later.
Is it kind of like a Stevie? Stevie Ray.
First name. Well, at least for me, this is what I would always say. I would always say their first name and their last name.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never just.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Aphrodite's ex-roommate Venus, and we have Sophie.
Yeah.
And that's it, really.
But once again,
I mean, technically Stark, but like we'll get to him.
Yeah. Once again, all these characters that I don't really give a shit about.
Neither. No. But like, Cremesha, she obviously just becomes a little bit more important because she has visions and poems.
Yeah, they're poet laureate because her poems are like prophetic.
Yeah.
Of a prophetic nature. But then I don't know if it ever explains, does that mean that like every poet laureate has prophetic poems? Because Lauren Blake was a poet laureate, and then maybe that's why Neferet used him.
Ooh. Yeah. But I feel like he would have talked about that as an affinity, because you'd be proud of that, or would you?
But maybe
would you
that's
feel
just
like
as the title poet laureate, like
maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could just be a red fledgling special power. Because I don't know, I never really thought about that. But then again, with Stark, never being able to miss, like, that's a very niche, obscure power as well. So maybe that changes like my whole thing about like Lauren now. Like, did he foresee up until his death, like in poems or whatever? Interesting. But yeah, the only real person we kind of interacted with the most in terms of the red fledglings is Cramisha, and because she is also kind of low-key still wants to eat Heath.
Yeah.
She's like eyeballing him.
Yeah, because I think in this one we find out that Neferet was the one to kill Lauren.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think at some, maybe.
Yeah, because of how close he was getting to Zoey.
Maybe, yeah.
She was just like, I'm threatened.
Yeah, I'm threatened. But yeah, so, and we get a tour of the tunnel facilities, and turns out they have a lot of appliances and equipment. They're well set up down there.
Yeah, I always, whenever there's like tunnels in books,
I
can't comprehend. I'm like, ooh, dirt. But yeah,
darkness.
They have like showers and stuff, and like separate bedrooms and kitchens.
I think it's described as like little kind of like nooks of a tunnel.
Yeah, because I think like it's described as like a depot that's just underground, and so like it was a whole setup, but it's
whole
just
system.
when it's described as like tunnels, I'm just like, oh, dirt.
I think they actually do sneak up inside the bus depot, and that's where like the showers and all
Oh
that
yeah,
are.
that's right, they're up there.
So yeah, I think Dallas is the red fledgling who was like an electrician or carpenter. He kind of like set up all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we also learned that Aphrodite is the one who paid for a lot of the stuff, like appliances and fridges and all that good stuff. And that just made me think, well, that's probably why she had the humanity to save Stevie Ray like, back in the other book, because, you know, she actually genuinely did care about the situation and kind of did care about her survival. So.
Yeah.
So that was incredibly nice of her.
She is a G.
Yes. And of course, plan is to just stay underground for as long as they possibly can. And not 5 minutes later, our favourite bumbling human of a fool has to fuck everything up.
But I don't, like, how does he find them at this point? Because he's not...
I think Zoey gave him a heads up. Get
that's right.
underground, maybe, I think.
Because they're not imprinted anymore.
No. And, like, I thought they were done for good.
Yeah.
They were done. Will they ever be broken up at this point? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Maybe. Looking forward to it. But yeah, he decides to come, and he's adamant he wants to talk to Zoey because he always wants to talk to Zoey.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, but the plan is to stay underground. Do not even try going outside. And what does Heath do? Let's talk in my truck. So they go outside, and obviously they do a bit of talking. Even around this, like, Zoey and Erik are kind of back together again. They have a talk.
Yeah, they've had a shower moment. Well, no, that makes it sound sexual. They were in the shower.
They were sussing it out.
Yeah, they were having a tour-ish. They weren't naked. And Erik, Zoey explains that she's sorry she had to hurt him, blah, blah, blah. She didn't know what she was doing. And then Eric's like, I still love you. She's like, oh my God. And then they kiss, but then she feels like it's getting a bit like aggressively sexual. So she's like, no, stop.
Zoe's also having kind of bad dreams and bad vibes about Kalona, and they're all like very much intense sexual tension as well. It's like gross. But yeah, I think this is all kind of also like a trauma for her because, you know, she lost her virginity to Lauren, and then Lauren like ripped her heart out and betrayed her.
Yeah,
so,
and then died.
Yeah, and then died. So I feel like, she's very scared to kind of be vulnerable with like a man in that type of way from like this point out. And just like, with Kalona's inherent like rapey vibes, like, oh, it's not good. And she does it a couple times, like her and Erik have a bit of a make out moment and like things might progress, and she kind of like pushes or shoves them back. And that's always the description, shoves them back.
Shoves them back, yeah. But yeah, so she ends up going and talking with Heath. And she nearly bites him. Yeah. Of course she does.
Heath is the one that instigates it. He's like, oh, it pisses me off. He knows she can't control her bloodlust.
Yeah.
Ugh, poor baby. And then, they're kind of attacked by a raven mocker, or spotted and then attacked by a raven mocker.
Yeah.
The raven mocker was trying to go for Heath, but Zoey got in the way because, of course, Kalona wants Zoey, like, alive and healthy.
Yes.
And raven mockers tend to just do, like, a laceration across the neck, but he kind of went a bit too low and missed because he was aiming for Heath and Heath. And so, then she's kind of rushed. Oh, I think Zoey ends
she doesn't realise at first that she's injured.
Oh, no. So then she kills the raven mocker. She, like, fries him, which is nice. And then, they're rushed back down to the depot. And then it's another 25% of the book healing Zoey and figuring all that shit out.
Yeah. Again, like, rinse and repeat of, I'm injured, help. Like, I just...
Let Stevie Ray just have all the sympathy, you know?
Yeah,
It's like Zoe's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, the first 25% of the book healing Stevie Ray. The next 25% of the book is walking around in these fucking tunnels.
Yeah.
And then the next 25% is like, oh no, Zoe might die. Which we all know that she isn't going to die.
No, because Aphrodite never foresaw this.
Yeah, and there are also no stakes in these books either.
I wouldn't have minded a few characters getting killed off at this point.
Yeah, everyone needs to take a page out of Veronica Roth's book.
Don't be afraid to kill off your main character.
Yeah. Anyway. And then, yeah, so this 25% is trying to heal Zoe.
And they managed to do that. Darius is incredible, you know, trying to delegate and organize everybody. And because after Zoe and Erik have that chat, they're kind of girlfriend-boyfriend again. But now Zoe's dying, she needs human blood because it regenerates a lot faster.
Yeah.
Erik gets overly, like, possessive as well, but we get to that a little bit later. And so Heath, obviously, she drinks from Heath's blood.
And she reignites their
Imprint.
Because
Surprise,
apparently they're so easy to...
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, it was just an awkward situation because, like, they're getting a bit of, like, pleasure out of it, and then, but, like, everyone's kind of watching, kind of doing their own thing.
There's a really good moment in From Blood and Ash that I can't wait for you to get to. That's reminiscent of this, yeah. Where, like, there's blood drinking and someone watching. Anyway,
is that a new kink for you?
Yes.
You've heard it here first.
Anyway, I was so distracted now.
I love it. That's all I can think about.
Yeah. I wish though, I'm gonna start saying the wrong names. I wish though that, I don't know if I can say this without spoiling. I'm just gonna say, I wish that Zoe and Heath would have been endgame. They're not. In a couple of ways they won't end up together. I won't tell anyone why. But anyway, but yeah, because there's always like imprint, break, like, and it's like, okay, well, obviously there's a connection between them that's important. If they keep imprinting on each other and they both need each other, and it may not be that romantic love anymore, but it is very much the platonic love, and they need each other in one way or another, and you just keep putting them together to rip them apart.
Yeah, it's just back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like very indecisive.
Yeah, and it was a good moment in character growth in one of the books or whatever, when Heath says to Zoe, you know, I'm done loving you because
I think it was the last book.
I'm done loving you because it hurts me too much.
Yeah. And you would think that the actual physical and emotional trauma of that bond breaking or the imprint breaking, it would kind of make you apprehensive of doing it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems he seems to enjoy it more.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't him seeking her out again. I wish, Zoe was injured and they all knew that they needed human blood, and maybe even Erik could have been apprehensive about it, but being, she needs Heath.
That would have been a good character development for Erik as well.
Yeah, and then that's how Heath got brought back in, and then everyone would have been really apprehensive about it, and then Heath would have had to been like, I know that this is bad for all of us, but I know that Zoe needs to live to save the world, etc.
Yeah, and he understands that she's incredibly special as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you're just making him look like a big dope.
Yeah.
For him to keep running after her.
Yeah. But he is the dope jock, though.
He is, but after saying, I'm done loving you because it hurts too much.
Yeah, you should be done.
You should be done.
But yeah, so Zoe, imprinted, is back on.
Yeah.
That's fun. Not fun for Erik, but anyway, you can get over it. It turns out that she's not healthy enough to be able to kind of live in the tunnels because she needs to fully be around
adult vampires.
Like a lot of adult vampires in order to recoup properly.
Also, we've glossed over something. I think it was in the first Stevie Ray 25%.
Okay.
Where, because Stevie Ray was shot by Stark, and then Zoe explains to everyone that, he missed her heart deliberately because he never misses a target, and he knew that if he had killed her, then it would kill Zoe, metaphorically kill Zoe as well.
Yeah. So
Zoe explains that, I think he missed because he and I have a connection because I was there when he died. And it's like, that's so flimsy.
Yeah, it's just a flimsy excuse, but like it works.
I mean, they do have a connection because she was there when he died. But I think it goes beyond that. And there is going to be really good things coming in that relationship.
Cool.
But, I mean, that's just dumb.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. And I wish it had been more about,
Like, meaningful.
yeah, and because they had kissed, and I wish there had been a bit more explanation or emphasis put on that staff seemed to know that there was something between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just, oh, I was there when he died, so he has a connection to
Yeah.
me. Like, no.
Zoey and all her boyfriends, and then we got Kalona on her ass as well,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
But
You know, he's having these dreams
we'll
and
get
she
to
thinks
that.
they're about Zac Efron. But
or
they're-
Johnny Depp.
Or Johnny Depp, but they're about Kalona.
No, yeah. But yep, Zoe's healed. Yeah, she
Sort
has
of.
to be around proper vampires. They get a text message, because reception is pretty good down here, apparently, from kind of Neferet on behalf of the House of Night, saying that all students are to return, because, you know, under the guise of being scared of what was happening, they ran away.
Yeah.
But we all know, yeah, they needed to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
But before we get into any of that stuff, Erik, after, yeah, Zoe's kind of a little bit better, not the best, I think her and Erik have another conversation, because Heath, you know, was still, like, kissing her and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
and, like, they're back together, and Erik is being very possessive.
But I mean, 5 minutes before
I know, I understand.
Zoe was kissing Erik and saying that she still loved him.
I know,
yeah.
but then they haven't, with their conversation, Erik says, well, because Zoe is seen as this high priestess now of this
Yeah.
group. She is the high priestess, and therefore she has the, I suppose, benefits of a high priestess, which is that they're allowed to have, like, as many, like, consorts and like vampire imprints. They can have as many of those types of relationships as they want, which is good, but why did we have to define that now? Because I'm going to be honest, if I was younger reading this, I would have had, you know, like, slut shame vibes towards Zoe, because, like, she's having every guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, but I suppose early in the books she was a high priestess in training, so, like, it wouldn't really come up.
Yeah. I think
But
there's
yeah.
a lot online discourse about the slut-shamey readers putting it onto Zoe, like, oh, she wouldn't have all these problems, blah, blah. And I don't have an issue with the three boyfriends thing. I mean, do what you want. You're clearly intent on wrecking your own life, imploding your own life.
Yeah,
You've
for
all
sure.
been there. It's fine.
Speak for yourself.
I will speak for myself. My issue is that she's 16.
Yeah. I think in this book she's 17.
17.
but
Yeah, she's on her
still.
birthday. But yes, she's still underage. And yes, she's got all this power on her, and she's a high priestess in training, and blah, blah, blah. However, she is still 17, and my issue, especially with Lauren Blake,
Yeah.
is that, that was an abuse of power thing. But again, you cannot take real world into fantasy.
Yeah.
Because blurred lines, but also statutory rape. But,
Yeah.
But then, I wish that there had been also more conversation in the previous books, especially when it's clear that Zoe is the high priestess in training. That you have this imprint with Heath, but you want to be with Erik, so that's fine. But Heath is your consort. Instead of just being like, I have 3 boyfriends or whatever. It's like, no, there needs to be clear, defined lines. Especially in I'm watching House of the Dragon.
Okay.
It's a situation where the main character is married, but she's getting her rocks off with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very children.
Yeah, because marriage is a political stance.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and I suppose another issue arises with it now is, like, technically she has had involvement with, like, 3 adult vampires now.
Yeah.
And that's, a problem.
Yeah.
Especially, because she's 17. Yeah. So really, the age-appropriate boyfriend to hang on to.
Yeah, because also Heath is, not Heath, Erik is adult.
Yeah.
Erik's 18.
But, like, he's, I suppose, going through the change, it makes you an adult vampire, but, like,
Yeah.
I suppose in age, he probably not.
Yeah.
Because when I say that, it sounds like he's 25,
Yeah.
but, he's only, like, 21 or maybe 20. And Darius, he's pretty young as well. But, anyway, we digress. So, they get a text message, they have to return to the House of Night. Everyone's like, I don't want to do that, but they kind of have to.
I mean,
So they
don't have to.
I mean, they spend a bit of time bickering about who gets to go.
Yeah.
Because it's a matter of, like, oh, we need someone to tell Stevie Ray where to go, or we need, communications between these 2 camps.
Yeah.
But it's decided that since everyone who has an affinity for an element, they get to go, because they can use their element to kind of shield themselves mentally and to try and prevent the allure of Kalona. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, at this stage, Zoe's having almost sexy dreams about Kalona.
Yes.
I
But
don't
it's
know.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's so much rereading these books as an adult that is inherently sexual nature, that is so unnecessary.
Right. So yeah, they bicker about who's gonna go back. I think everyone bar the red fledglings and Erik and Heath are going back. But yeah, so they return to the school with a bit of a welcoming party.
Yeah.
They're greeted by some raven mockers, and I think Kalona and Neferet go out to meet them. I don't know, but either way, there's a raven mocker named Rephaim.
Yeah, Rephaim.
Rephaim, which is suspicious because he's the only raven mocker that actually has a name. So, like, is he going to be important in the future? How do you picture the raven? I know it's often described as the raven mockers, but how do you describe? How do you visualize them?
They're like humanoid ravens.
Birds, yeah.
Yeah.
I get very creepy vibes.
Yeah, I'm just imagining birds with legs.
Yeah.
But
Birds with legs. With human legs. But yeah, I look at... Sometimes I in a way, not really spoil myself, but I want to look up images because I want, like, visual references. And, like, it's just... Rephaim was just, like, a sexy human with wings.
Yeah.
Like, just an angel, essentially. But anyway, so they get to the House of Night. Zoey is in the infirmary. And I thought this part was going to be stressful. This is pretty much, like, the other 50% of the book. Or maybe 25%, whatever.
Rephaim has a name because he's Kalona's favourite son. Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just hate how they refer to each other, like, father sent me to find you, and it's like, ugh.
Kalona, because Rephaim and Darius fight.
Yeah, at some point,
Kalona steps in, and Darius gets a scar, and everybody's pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much around the same time, but yeah, Neferet begrudgingly heals Zoey because, it's Kalona's wish. And yeah, Zoe's back in the house now, she's kind of healing a bit more progressively, and she overhears Kalona and Neferet chatting. Neferet's trying to convince Kalona that Zoey is just worth killing outright because she's not going to switch over and join their side. And Kalona's pretty stubborn about it, but that's also because he sees her as Aya in reincarnated, which is the maiden that trapped Kalona thousands of years ago. So we get a bit of push and pull from Neferet and Kalona because they're not really on the same page of things, which is interesting. And so yeah, I think Kalona and Zoey have a couple of chats, which I think is just him trying to convince her that she's Aya, and she's like, I'm not.
And they're destined to be together and blah blah blah.
Yeah. And then Darius and Rephaim have a fight, and then Kalona's like, kill the warrior, and then because Stark comes in because that's all he's useful for now. He's just the Lone Ranger.
Yes.
And then Zoe's like, no, don't kill him because he's sworn to protect me, and this is all a big misunderstanding. And it's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then I think she has a moment with Stark as well, and manages to change his kind of humanity.
Yeah, she convinces him to
choose
not
good.
Not turn his back on humanity or whatever.
Or
and so,
Nyx.
He pledges his warrior's oath
to Zoey, which cannot be broken unless she allows it, which is a bit OP. But then again, she's receiving all these benefits as her high priestess, and it's a shame that it's all the men.
Yeah.
Men with savior complexes. They all want to protect her. Yeah. And so that was interesting. And then he changes into an adult
red fledgling. An adult red vampire.
Yeah, I completely forgot about his redness for the moment. But he gets like arrow tattoos across his forehead, which is cute.
I just the description of their tattoos.
Yeah,
it's like how everyone online is like, Farah can't paint. Like, Farah's a shit painter. And then they do like these shit tattoos. But
but then you look at images, like
and
stock images, and
beautiful.
They look pretty. But it's hard to imagine because it's just described as intricate symbols, and it's like, well, what's the symbol? But obviously with Stark, it is relevant to his affinity, which is arrows. Yeah. So, but it's like pointing inwards towards his mark, which is like a bullseye target. Hello. But so he's kind of playing double agent as well now because until further notice. What else? Like, school seems to be kind of back to normal, but like
sort
not
of,
really.
But then they realise that everyone has kind of turned their back on Nyx. Yeah. And they're all a bit brainwashed, zombie-like.
Yeah, pod girls.
Yeah.
Pod brain.
Yeah, and they realise that because of Kalona's influence, that they can't break through, so they realise they need to do something to...
As far as they're aware, he is the consort of Nyx, you know? He's a rebus.
Yeah, and Neferet is Nyx incarnate or whatever. Anyway, so they realise that a couple of the professors, Lenobia and Langford...
Dragon,
and
Anastasia.
And Anastasia.
For a second, because they said... Because, they were talking about, we've got to get Dragon and his wife out. I thought he was married to Professor Nolan. I thought that they were husband and wife, and I thought he was really distraught when she died, but I must have thought about something. Maybe I just fucked my mind about it. But yeah, I was a little bit confused in
No,
that
I
moment.
think they were married.
So he's moved on so quickly to Anastasia.
Oh, no. So Lenovia is his wife, sorry.
No. Professor Nolan was a female.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Lenovia is single. I thought Dragon and Professor Nolan were together.
Yeah, but he's not... Wait, sorry. Yes, Nolan, Dragon and Nolan were together, and Lenovia is just like chill.
Is chill, but then there's Anastasia, who is Dragon's wife.
Is she?
Apparently.
I'm so confused.
I swear that's what it was.
No, because...
Anastasia could be his wife, but I always thought that Nolan was his wife for some reason.
Because he gets reunited. Because, spoiler alert, he dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loving all these.
Yeah. And then
know.
everyone watches him get reunited with his wife. Unless his wife dies.
Okay. See,
we didn't look this up.
I don't even know anymore, because I swear to God, in this book it said something about, we need to get his wife Anastasia out, or something like that. But if the horn dog moved on so fast, my God.
Husband of Anastasia Langford.
See, I don't know. I always
So
thought,
who was Nolan married to?
See, I just always thought Professor Nolan and Dragon, because I thought when Professor Nolan died, I thought it was like, someone's got to tell Dragon.
Oh, maybe they were just friends.
Maybe they were just really good friends.
Yeah, so I think
don't know.
Anastasia dies and Dragon died.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, anyway, I just muddled myself up, but we've been new. It always
Moving
happens
on.
to me. Moving on. But yes, we learned that those three professors are not intrigued by his allure or his hypnotic sexiness.
They're still very much in touch with Nyx.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they realise that they have to... first they figure out the poem of the earth and the blood and the spirit and the humanity. Grandma Redbird's part of it again. Sister Mary Angela's fucking part
She's
of it.
She's a spirit,
Yeah.
I suppose it's all parallel to the Cherokee women who created Aya as well, but this is just a new generation.
Yeah, so they have to do another circle.
Yes, all these circles.
But yeah, so they're like, we gotta get out of here. We need a distraction.
It's a really good plan, though.
It is. Yeah,
It was very creative.
Yeah, they set a fire
to the stables.
Kapowie. And they escape on horseback, which is really cool.
It's very kind of romantic as well, like a romantic getaway into the sunset.
Yeah.
So diversion was like break down a tree against the wall to make it think like they went that way. Because the Ravenmockers are the sentries. They're just watching everybody.
Yeah.
They know what's up, but apparently they don't like horses, which is a very convenient thing.
Yeah, well, I think birds don't like horses in general.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah.
And then they set the fire to the stables, and then the horses create like a stampede, and then they get away.
Yeah.
And that was a fun plan. It was a very intense sequence of events because it's like, it's gonna fuck up, but it doesn't.
Yeah, but it doesn't, yeah. And
I think it kind of does, because Dragon was fighting a few Ravenmockers and they were only expecting like one, maybe. But other than that, it was pretty easy going.
Yeah. Maybe, is that when his wife dies?
No one died in this book.
No one died in this book?
No.
Okay, well, there's lots of death coming.
Finally,
yeah. Anyway.
So they run to the abbey, like the Benedictine abbey or something.
Yeah, the St. Mary Benedictine Abbey.
Because that's where Sister Mary is, and that's where Grandma is.
And that's where Heath and Erik and everyone else is.
Because they send a message. Kalona and Neferet, they catch up like
because they're in the SUV.
Yeah, they're in a fucking Hummer.
Yeah.
And
with Stark.
With Stark and stuff, yeah. But I think that I feel like because Sister Mary greeted them at the front and they just spent time at the front just talking and just like getting shit done. It's like, just get inside. Kalona and all that rock up.
Yeah.
Ooh, lights.
It's getting dark in here.
Yeah, it really
is.
It's getting rain. It's getting dark outside.
Yeah, Kalona is here.
I mean, very, very fitting. They just like fart us around outside, and then Kalona and Neferet arrive in their SUV.
Yeah.
They step out. Heath manages to get Grandma, and they start a circle and they all hold hands and they chant some fancy religious words, and then Kalona's like, bye.
Yeah, Kalona's like, see ya.
Yeah.
And then Neferet tells Stark to kill Zoey, but Stark's like, well, Zoey's my heart, so if I shoot her, it's gonna right to him. So he just says that Zoey is his heart, and then so Zoey realizes, oh fuck, if he shoots it's gonna do a JFK,
a bit of a U-turn.
Turn in midair, and so Zoey calls the elements to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, well, he does get hit, but it's not, it was like a bit of a...
Yeah, a bit of a shoulder situation.
Yeah, like, not really piercing the skin or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, bit of a fry as well, I guess. And then, yeah, Kalona and Neferet are just like, up they go. They just fuck off with their Raven Mocker children.
Yeah.
And it's like, after chanting some religious words.
Yeah.
He was really threatened by Grandma, and Grandma's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, the power of Jesus.
the power of Native American.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, again, this is very reminiscent of the, what they call them, like the Gia?
Yeah, the Gaia women.
Women or something. Yeah, apologies.
Yeah,
if it's
who
like a thing.
originally, trapped Kalona.
Yeah, and the poem that Krimisha, foresaw or written or whatever, said that he's only able to be made to flee and not necessarily destroy yet, I think.
Yeah, because the only one who can destroy him is Aya.
And Aya is
It's
Zoey.
Zoey.
That's boyfriend number 5.
Yay!
We love an immortal boyfriend.
Yes.
Daddy Kalona. But I think also Aphrodite has a vision, and there's like a whole war starts in Tulsa. So I don't know if that's going to be something that's happening, or if they avoided that by reuniting as like a circle with the blood, humanity, spirit people.
Also, Zoey gets more tattoos.
She does get more tattoos.
Yes,
yeah,
because she's won another.
I keep forgetting. Battle. Yeah, I think. Not like
we
understand at the end of every book she gets a tattoo, but we haven't really been mentioning it.
You would think at this point that she would just change.
Yeah,
like come into her full potential power.
Yeah, honestly, why hasn't
But I
she
think
changed?
that's kind of linked to the Kalona thing and like
Maybe.
accepting her destiny.
Perhaps. Because she's only doing everything
she's
because
also
it needs to be done.
in pain because she has had to say goodbye to Kalona.
Yeah,
because there is that part of her.
There is like a soul bond. Away.
Yeah. Boyfriend number 5.
5. Yeah. And also, Kalona appears to Zoey in a younger form as opposed to everybody else. So that's interesting. And I think there were moments in conversations where she was with her friends and stuff, and they'll talk about how bad Kalona is, but then she'd have a feeling of like, but he must have never really been bad.
Yeah.
So she has this kind of lingering hope that he could potentially change and convert from evil to good. Yeah. But then, Neferet's just so far gone. She's like transforming herself. She's just creepy as fuck.
Yeah, because it seems like this is Kalona's doing, but it's all just Neferet orchestrating everything.
Yeah, and she is turning into the queen of whatever the Native American...
Queen Cecilia.
Iggy Azalea. Yeah. Queen Iggy. So yeah, they're buggered off for now.
Yeah, they win.
Yeah,
well, not
Zoey
Zoey and friends have won. Yeah. A false sense of hope.
Yeah. But like, I wonder where Kalona's gone. I wonder like what they're gonna do.
Yes, because remember there was that other part of Aphrodite's vision of that palace somewhere in Europe.
Oh yeah, so it's not hasn't really been avoided yet.
No.
I suppose it can still happen.
Yes.
So I guess they're going on a Europe vacay trip next book. Will the students kind of go back to normal, or will they, now that the allure is gone?
Yeah. Who's going to be the headmistress, the high priestess?
Zoey. It has to be Zoey.
Yeah.
Like, Zoe's, gonna have, Lenobia, because she has full fucking faith in her, and I love that.
Yeah.
Dragon's just like, kind of like the defense against the dark arts, like the fencing
Eric
teacher.
Teach drama.
Eric has a job again,
like,
if he wishes.
Yeah.
Alright, do you think they'll bring the red fledglings back with them?
I think there would be some apprehension, but I think, until they figure out what's going on. But then they've also been independently living on their own
that's
for
fair.
years at this point.
And they don't need what's an education.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe Lenoba could be like a principal, well, not high priestess, but principal, like be in charge.
Yeah, because they've managed to inject some humanity back into Stark and Stevie Ray, so you would think that would be possible for the other red fledglings.
Yeah. It never really explained them turning their humanity back individually. It was just when Stevie Ray turned back, it affected everybody.
Yeah, and they'd been around for years because it was Aphrodite's roommate from like her first year or whatever.
Yeah, but then I think Aphrodite said, "Oh, Venus died like 3 months ago, like before Zoe arrived." So I don't know if it's just plot inconsistency or if it's just like anything like that. And again, when Stevie Ray became a red fledgling, she was like important straight away. She was the leader because of her Earth affinity.
Yeah, and then really like it made it seem like Elliot had been around way longer, but he probably died like in book timeline wise, like maybe a couple of weeks before Stevie Ray died.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was so much worse.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad we haven't really interacted with him.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right about, because Stevie had the Earth Infinity.
Yeah, that
She
made
had
her special.
Stronger connection still to Nyx.
Yeah. But yeah, and I keep thinking, I was going to say this about the last book, because I know we had a discussion about, like, introducing big bads and how relevant or irrelevant it is. Surely, because Nyx is obviously, not Nyx, Neferet has obviously turned her eye away from Nyx.
Yeah.
And, like, another dark entity, which would that have been Kalona?
Yes.
Whispering. Surely, if he was able to, I guess, penetrate Neferet's mind, like, surely he would have been able to do that with, like, other people around.
But I think it was more that Neferet had opened her mind to that.
Okay, right,
so
right.
It was,
she had that awareness.
Yeah, so it was able to, because she was already turning away from Nyx. She was already seeking out higher power.
Yeah, right.
Whereas other people
and
just
then, like, that
Nyx.
opened the channel for the whispers
Yeah.
of, okay. Because I just thought, well, surely there are like-minded individuals who are kind of like against Nyx or on a more evil side of the spectrum. Like, surely it would be more of a come together army situation.
Yeah, no, I think it's an influence thing and awareness. Like, you had to already have been on that path.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then I think, yeah, that's just it for that book. Interesting to see where it goes in, what's it called? Is it Tempted? The next one?
I think so.
So yeah, stick around for that journey. I think we might call it a day.
Yeah, thanks
this
for
one.
listening, everyone.
Yep. If you check us out on all our socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're on iTunes podcast now. Yeah, finally. Woo! And Google Podcasts.
SoundCloud if you're old school.
And yeah, find us one place. You'll find us everywhere, hopefully.
Yeah.
Keep along for the journey to come, because like we're not halfway.
Not half. Next one's halfway.
Next one's halfway, but yeah, it's very interesting to see like if the next few books are going to be like a very slow. But we'll see how that goes. We'll smash it out. We're just got to finish the series.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there ever comes a time where there's a book that we genuinely do not like I'm happy to like DNF it and then still like talk
We
about
still
it.
talk about it, yeah, and say like why.
But
yeah.
we're now,
because I think it was 6 or 7. I'll have to check the plot lines again. But I DNF'd one of them. Yeah.
okay. That's okay.
couldn't.
That's fair enough. That's all good. All good. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.